morning.
How's everybody? Tell me to begin if you're ready. I can begin.
We are ready.
We are in a town called Bonyure. It is written bone wire, but pronounced Bonyure. Okay. Yes, Bonyure is the name of the town we are in now. And the word Bonyure is a type of weeds or shrubs called brambles. Yeah, so that is how they got the name. They came when the town was full of brambles. So they cleared the brambles and started building their houses. So clear the brambles means Bonyure. So that's how they came by the name. Then the population, they have a population of upward 20,000. And I don't know if that will be a town or a city in America. A town. Small town, big town.
Small town.
No. I'm from a small town.
Okay, they're smaller.
Like depends on which part of the country.
I started school here in this town, this little town. Those times the population was about maybe 5,000. Somewhere in 1958.
That was bigger than my hometown. We had 300.
So, I started when I was going to stage class 5, I moved to my father's hometown. And then that is where I lived all these years. And so know very little about this town. But not long ago, the town became a subject of study. So I came back and started researching into Kente and the people who live around. And it was so fascinating that the work I did made me win an award. Yes, so I won Grand Medal Award for promoting African arts. Bonyure is noted for its weaving, textile arts. It is not just weaving, but when they have finished weaving, the kind of products they get from the weaving is used in many forms. Clothing, bags, sandals, the heart, and many, many things. It can be so all forms of art. Bonyure is known almost everywhere in the area of arts. Those who studied at the university and even home and abroad, it's well known. Originally, there was no weaving here. They started as farmers. And two gentlemen from a house at the heart of the town, somewhere in the early or late 16th century. Two gentlemen went to farm, they were brothers. And they understood, they saw a type of spider weaving its web. And they understudied the spider and came out with something that could be used to cover the human body. It took them a long time before they came to that stage. They started slowly, gradually, and stage by stage. And they came up with a piece of cloth. They got the idea of using cotton and to spin. They spin the thread out of cotton and they started using. But beginning, they had to understudy the spider and know which materials to use. When they were able to come up with a piece, they showed it to the chief of the town, who also led them to the king of Ashanti. So that what they did was so fascinating that the king of Ashanti decided to make it a royal art. So till this day, that house is weaving kente for the king of Ashanti.
What year did the weaving start?
It started somewhere 1580s.
Wow.
Yeah. So by middle of the 16th, they had perfected in the weaving. So the royal kente is woven in this very town. And the inventors, or those who brought the idea, were made chiefs of kente weaving. So the Asantehene has a house that produces a chief for his kente weaving. Then he has also a house somewhere. They are in charge of his wardrobe. Now, they had no idea of patent rights. So what they did was, when the king comes up with a design, nobody dares wear the same design with the king. In those days. These days, with the democratic dispensation, it will be very difficult for a king to say, you cannot wear my clothes. So what the king does is, he has scouts who go around to see when there is a deba, to see if anybody is wearing the type of clothes that he has selected to wear that day. If anybody is wearing some, then he'll put it aside and choose another one. On the other hand, if the king is seated before you come in with yours, then you have to go and change. So this is the case. So they will meet you halfway and tell you, no, your clothes is similar to the king's clothes. And the king is already seated. So the best thing we can do for you is to loan you a piece of cloth to change. And then when you close, come back for your own cloth. This is what is going on these days. And the king has numerous types of kente. Very many. It appears that almost every gathering, he would have a new design. He has about 6 houses, so 6 families that weave his kente. And the queen mothers too. The queen mother's kente and the king's kente are woven in this town by 6 families. Because of the speed, they share. That, okay, you do a piece, you do a piece, and they put it together. And it must be done in speed, so that nobody else would go and copy. So because the patent right. Okay, kente is well known in the academic circles, because every piece of kente can speak volumes. Every kente has a name, not just a name, it also has a meaning. The name has a meaning. The name, the piece has a history behind it, and often some philosophy attached to it. And we're going to know a little about those, history and philosophy attached to it. Each has a name. It is used to commemorate occasions. So there was a time when American president visited here, and a kente was made for them. The name is attached to it. This type, with embroidery, is called Obama. When Obama visited Ghana, he was presented with something like that. And therefore, that piece became Obama, and it is still Obama. Anywhere you go, ask of Obama, and it will give you something.
Can you open it up? Would you open it up a little bit?
All right.
Obama.
So that is a woven kente and embossed later is called Obama.
Just 1 second.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. What's the matter there?
Ladies, when you take share it on the chat for those who
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so that is Obama. George Bush was not lucky.
What about the present one?
The Ghanaians did not like him so much.
So bad.
So he came, but they gave him no food.
Working on.
This is one of the most expensive kente, and it's named after Bill Clinton. That is when he came. We do not just name them because they are Europeans or Americans or what. No, it is to commemorate the occasion.
Okay.
So that anytime we make mention of the Clinton's kente, we know when Clinton visited Ghana and for what reason he visited Ghana. So this is for the
What does the HT stand for? The
Everybody?
letters HT?
HT, somebody ordered.
Oh,
It was made for him.
oh, okay, got it.
It's just embroidered. There it is.
We have this one. It is named after one of our kings, and it is called Ohene Afrosheng. Ohene is king. Afrosheng is on board a ship. At a time when he was being exiled from his own country to the Seychelles Island, the artists or the craftsmen decided to commemorate the occasion by naming this new design after him at that time. So it is called Ohene Afrosheng, and that Ohene is called Brembe the First. That was somewhere in 1896. This is the history behind, and the occasion was when he was being exiled. This piece is named after a weaver, the designer himself. This tells you that it is not always the aristocrats, but ordinary people would have been named after them. The weaver was at the loom when a great prophet of the Ashanti kingdom called Komfanochi was passing by, and then he prophesied that as soon as you finish weaving, you are going to pass on. You're going to die as soon as you finish weaving. So the man decided never to finish weaving. So he comes to work, just throw the shuttle 2-3 times, and then go to bed. So it was when he was very old, the man was known as Toku. Yeah. When he was very old, he decided to quickly finish it up and then say goodbye to the world. So, and exactly, he did exactly that. And he made 24 pieces of this, which they put together to form a male scroll. So he did not put it together to make a male scroll. What he did was to share to important personalities, to bid them farewell. So the cloth is Toku's farewell cloth. Toku the weaver, farewell cloth. So Toku Akratuma.
When a weaver does something like that, does he pass on the knowledge of how to make that pattern to someone else?
As soon as you come out, with a design.
Okay.
People who have knowledge would just copy it.
Okay, gotcha.
This is called Yukuma. Yuku is one of the, we have normally within the Ashanti Kingdom 9 families. Everybody in the kingdom belongs to one of the families. 9 families. Everybody belongs to one of these 9 families. No matter where you are. You are in Kumasi, you belong to one. I belong to the Aduana family, and the Aduana family has a symbol which make those who cannot even read know that this is the Aduana family. And we use the dog with fire in its mouth as our symbol. So when I travel from here to Ivory Coast, those in Ivory Coast know their brother has come. And it is still forbidding for anybody of one family, no matter how large the family is, to marry from the same family. Because you see yourselves as brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties. So one of the clans is called Oyoko, and that is where we select the king of Ashanti and the queen of Ashanti from. The Oyoko. Their symbol is the hawk. Yes, that is their symbol. Now, at the time when Kente was in its black and white stage, there were no color. It started with black and white only. And then some women from the Oyoko clan went to the coasts. Those days there were no cars, they went on foot to go and buy whatever they wanted to buy, barter trading. So they came up with a handkerchief that was made up of colors. So their brothers who were weavers decided to unveil the handkerchief and use it to weave. And that is how color came into the Kente weaving. So when color came, there was not enough color yarns on the market. So they started to get colors from the bark of trees and the juice from other fruits and other. This cloth is named after those women. Yeah, from the Oyoko clan. So it is called Oyoko Ma. Ma means the pura of women. The pura of a woman is Ma. Oba is singular. Ma is pura for women. So the Oyoko is their family. So the cloth is called Women from the Oyoko family. And that is the first multicolored cloth.
Are the weavers still mostly men now? Are the weavers still
Yes, they are Muslim, but we will tell you why.
Okay.
We have this. At a certain point in time, weaving was going on, designs came into the weaving, and then weavers put their heads together and incorporated many designs into one piece of cloth. So they call it all designs incorporated. At that time they thought that was all the designs they had. So this piece is called All Designs Incorporated. In P it is called a Bin Asan. A Bin is designed. San is finished or completed. So that is All Designs Incorporated. Okay, this is Musa bread.
Professor, when you said there's 9 families, how many centuries back can people trace their family lineage?
Yeah, that they say it's somewhere the 13th century. So this one was what? A piece of cloth worn by the first president of Ghana to the United Nations to give address to the United Nations. And it is called Sika Freboja. Sika is money. Fre is call. Boja is blood relation. So money draws blood relations. So this is the name of this club. Yes. If you have money,
Without money,
yes.
Everybody in your family get money.
This is Obi and Cherry Obi Kwamusi. It doesn't take too long to offend one another. So we must learn to forgive. So this is aphorism. So, this piece is named after an Ashanti king who decided to build a castle for himself. That castle was bombarded by the British. It was giving them fame, and the British did not want such a fame because they were in control of this part of the land, so they didn't want any challenge. So they planned to bombard. But when the king first established his castle, it was seen as something which has never happened before. So the plot was named Has Not Happened Before. So this is Bahina Afro-Shan. That was 1800. This is when it was.
Do the families that weave the Kente, they hold all the stories? They're the ones that keep all the stories?
No, now it is a big industry.
Of the story?
Yes.
Okay. So they have to get them from the families, right?
Yeah, you can get them.
Okay.
And then sometimes too, the families are so busy weaving and making money and not so much interested in the stories. So the academia is more interested in the stories. So I am myself a weaver. Yes. And I'm also much more interested in the stories. And so I have documented a lot of these things. This was named after Queen Elizabeth visit to Ghana. So that was 1961. When the Queen visited Ghana, then they said the Queen has visited Ghana. So it is Ohima Abba Ghana. Ohima is Queen. Abba has come to Ghana. Ohima Abba Ghana. We say all these things, but you can also ask for a cloth to be made for you and named after you.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I see the last one you
This
had?
piece.
Could you hold up the last one you had again?
You want to take a picture of that?
Yes. Oh, you didn't have to take it out the bag.
so anybody who's ready for Kente, just give your name. Now for you. Okay?
Okay, that is. So this is.
Thank you.
This is raw woven. You can still make designs in them. Yeah, if you choose. But the background is normally what gives it a name.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh boy. So this is called Fataya Fatankroma. Fataya is the wife of the first president coming from Egypt. The first president of Ghana married from Egypt. there were not many girls in Ghana, so he chose to go to
No, it was an arranged marriage. It was an arrangement.
Questions about that. We weren't too impressed with the answer at all.
Now we have answers here.
So the president chose to go to Egypt and married from Egypt. Maybe he was thinking of African Union.
Yeah, that's what we were told.
So when he had married, the people of Boinre decided to make a piece of cloth for him, named after himself and the wife. So this is called Fatea, that is the wife. Fata Nkrumah. Nkrumah is the president, was the president of Ghana at that time. Fata means befits. So this beautiful lady befits our president.
Oh, yeah.
That's the name of the
But
club.
there was none in Ghana. There was none here.
That is to him.
They all do
But
the same thing.
they were very many.
Do they all take their pieces with them?
She went deep.
Okay, over and above the full piece, the name of the full piece, we have each design also has a name and meaning. This very design you see here, looking like a staircase, is the muzzle of a special gun, which the British used to fight the Ashantis. To commemorate the occasion, the Ashantis chose to weave so that they will remember the occasion very well. In 1900, the war was led by a woman, an Ashanti woman called Yasantua. She led the Ashanti soldiers to fight the British. The war lasted for almost a year. So when the British were able to conquer the Ashantis, so they say, but Ashantis believe they were not conquered. The reason is that the British were fighting for the golden stool, and they never got the golden stool. So to the Ashantis, they never lost the war because they still have their golden stool. To the British, they had the land and the people, so they also felt they have won the war. So after winning the war, they stationed some powerful guns at the very center of Kumasi, and at 12 o'clock noon, they would just fire the guns to warn the Ashantis that they are still around. And the muzzle of the gun is here. The gun was called Perry Martin, American manufactured guns called Perry Martin. These Perry Martin guns, the Ashantis found it very difficult to mention the name, so they ended up calling it Premo instead of Perry Martin. So it is still called Premo, Premo Atu. So Premo Atu means 12 o'clock. At every 12 o'clock, the gun would be fired. So the Perry Martin gun fired at 12 o'clock means Premo Atu. So it has become part of our vocabulary. When it's 12 o'clock, Premo Atu. That is what how. Any other restaurant, really, okay. If we mean to go on, we'll go on and on. But there is an aspect of social life in the Kente weaving. Somebody asked why maybe he's not seen many women weaving. Many women are not weaving, very few are weaving. The reason was that they thought that it is a craft that requires a lot of energy. So the fear, we needed more, the population to grow. And then if women were allowed to weave, the fear was that the natural tendency of aborting babies whilst you're weaving, so they made a law that women should not weave. But they thought they had a very positive reason for not making women weave. Not long ago, some of us who are women activists, said no, we should allow the women to weave. That was 1998, not long ago. So I gathered a few women, we marched to the Queen's Palace and won the heart of the Queen that women should weave. So they all agreed. The town elders made a care. Now there are doctors who can take care of women, so women should weave. And there I won an award for leading women to weave. All right, so that is it. It was organized by MTN, the multinational MTN. So the award was MTN Hero of Change.
Perfect. Any question?
Yes, please.
So,
Go ahead.
okay.
Question. I noticed that there some of the weaves are like a patch and some are like a full fabric. What's the difference between, for instance, the one you're wearing? It seems to be put
Sewed
together.
together.
There are three types of weave. The plain one, like this one, it's plain weave. Then we have single weave, like this one. Not too intricate.
Okay.
Not too much of intricate designs. That is called single weave. Then when you come to this stage, that is triple weave. And when you come to this very complex one, that is I've mentioned three, eh? Yeah. Multiple. So this is why you are seeing this one. I prefer the old type. So I chose to buy the type that was more than 100 years old and made it into this cloth. It was plain.
Let him step in a little bit. I know we can't it. You can't it this way before you get this design. You can't it. Not it's just like that weaving. No, unless you can't it before you get the design that you want. Okay, that's it.
That's how you get
idea.
Yeah, you have to count.
So was on the women. So now women can weave. And they are happy. They are into the sales of Kente is normally by women. They are very rich because of their involvement in the Kente. And the town itself is very rich in the Kente because almost all the beautiful houses you see around are owned by Kente merchants. Yeah. So, in case you have any question, you may ask. Yes.
Do the colors mean different
Yes,
things?
I have to come to the colors. The colors are used for grief occasions. The black and white or pure red color, pure black color, or black and white, black and red put together are used for grief occasions. Then we have the white dominated colors used for worshipping and happy occasions. The word white is not our language. So if white means something, here we call it fufu. Fufu means plain. These are used for worshipping. This is because at worshipping you don't need to be cumbersome. You have to be simple. So white colors are normally. We have multicolored. That is also used for durbars and grand occasions, commemorating instances, the multicolored. So if you are in this multicolored, make sure you don't go closer to where people are sad.
Oh.
They will think you're happy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like what going with it.
They will think you are not sympathizing with them.
Okay.
So what does the plain purple mean?
Plain proper is white dominated. Ordinary. That is no designs in them.
No, the purple, the lavender color, the one that you gave the queen.
The one we give to the queen.
Yeah, the purple
That is
color.
also plain. That is
White,
that is also.
white dominant. Purple is your favorite color.
Yes. So colors, women have their colors. I don't know that of America, but in Ghana, especially among the Akan, whilst men will choose red, women will choose pink. The men like deeper colors. Women like the same color but light. So if you are buying for your wife, you will choose the deeper one and your wife the light one, and they understand. It's not a question of, okay, we all want to wear the same thing. That is more European. In our case, from here, we would enter the place where they are weaving. He would come in. He's an assemblyman for the town.
He's assemblyman for the town.
Yes, yes, he's a supplement for the town. So he's very much concerned about your being around.